Let me pause the music here and we can watch this together. This is in regards to what's going on with Cracker Barrel. Looking for any minuscule reason to justify a decision. Yeah. And if they can't find anything, they can always just make it up.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, there it is. I guess there's the inevitable, total, utter defeat for Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, this, by the way, is the face of the CEO of Cracker Barrel. The glasses alone, she looks like an absolute kitten. This is not someone who belongs in the position of CEO.
After all the smug talk and the smug dismissals that the backlash was just a very loud minority, just a right-wing overreaction, well, I guess reality is
that's... At first, that's what they tried to downplay the criticism as. Was just a very vocal minority. And then when that didn't work, they started calling them right-wing extremists. And then when that didn't work, they finally bent the knee and said, all right, we hear you. We don't like that we heard you. We don't like listening to you people. We wish you would just shut up, fuck off, and go away. But we're going to change it all back. She made a post on Instagram complaining about everyone else having an issue with it before deleting it. That doesn't surprise me. She's got her grand design in her head, and anyone who dares to question it is just an evil right-wing extremist. Yes, quick, use buzzwords to invalidate criticism, because that always works.
Finally settled in, as Cracker Barrel has now caved in spectacular fashion. A full 180 reversal. They initially doubled down and said they were going to keep the new logo, but now 24 hours later, they've completely flipped. You know, I guess all...
How's it feel, love? How's it feel to be completely and utterly dominated by the people you hate? How does it feel to basically, I don't know, if this were in any other arena, any other thing, this would be us sort of collectively dominating her sexually or something. It's like something's been shoved into an uncomfortable place. Oh, you don't like that? Tough. Going to take it like the bitch you are. Ruby, welcome in. You popped in at a most fortuitous time.
All the reporting I did on the empty parking lots and empty restaurants wasn't fake news as the left was suggesting. We've got yet again another massive cultural victory to add to the list. Let me give you guys the latest update in this victory, but before we get...
How does it feel to find out this hard? Oh my. But I don't think... I think a lot of that sounds like hyperbole. It's a win, to be sure. I would not go so far as to call it a big win, but it's a win nevertheless.
Get into any of it, this video is actually brought to you guys by a sponsor, so let's first play that clip. This video is brought to you by Raycon. So between
Sponsor time.
researching, editing, recording, and just trying to catch a break every now and then, or of course sometimes getting some exercise, the schedule can get packed up, you know, life can get pretty hectic. But one thing's for sure, no matter what I'm doing, I need to stay tuned in, I need to stay connected to what's going on across the globe and all the different discussions online. And I gotta tell you, I wouldn't be able to do that without Raycon's everyday earbud classics. You know, the simple truth is they've earned a spot in my inventory. I've been using these earbuds to stay tuned for 4 or 5 years at this point. And I gotta tell you, I actually really love them. And well, today Raycon's here with a new announcement. They just dropped a new version of the Everyday Earbud Classics with the same iconic look except now with active noise cancellation. That's the one piece of tech that these earbuds were missing, and now they've upped the ante by having it built in. We're talking premium earbuds with all the little details at a fraction of the price of other premium earbuds. 8 hours of battery life straight plus 32 more with the charging case, premium audio quality, touch functions, multiple gel tips to fit your ear. I mean, it's just a great product.
The reversal is a step in the right direction. It's not a redemption. Yes. Quite.
At a great price, and best of all, thanks to this partnership with Raycon, you can take advantage of a 20% off sale by simply clicking the link down below in the description. That's buyraycon.com/hivemind, or simply scan the QR code on screen. That's 20% off, folks. Support the businesses that support the channel. A huge thank you to Raycon. Now back to the video. All right, folks, so we recently learned that Cracker Barrel dumped $700 million into this idiotic rebrand, a new logo, a new modernized look. And at first, we know they doubled down. They told us that they weren't backing off. The reaction from all the managers was
Yeah, they were committed, and by God, they were going to see it through. Or so we thought.
overwhelmingly positive.
Overwhelmingly positive.
Then, of course, ish hit the fan.
And by overwhelmingly positive means these people had to say that, otherwise they would be fired.
And so Cracker Barrel was forced to issue a response, but even in that response, they doubled down. They told us the old timer wasn't coming back, they were keeping the new logo. And then, well, 24 hours
Yeah, there was basically a very polite way in saying through gritted teeth and a forced smile, fuck off, all of you.
later, poof, scrapped, gone. A full reversal. Take a look at this post right over here. We thank our guests for sharing your voices and love for Cracker Barrel. We said that we would listen, and we have. Our new logo is going away, and our old timer will remain. At Cracker Barrel, it's always been and always will be about serving up delicious food, warm welcomes, and the kind of country hospitality that feels like family.
Yeah, a lot of that's been missing from Cracker Barrel in recent years. I don't know if anyone's been to a Cracker Barrel lately, but yeah, I think I ordered from them put in a takeaway order once for, I think it was one of their signature breakfast platters or something like that. And a good one or two of the key items were just forgotten about. Not only that, it took forever for them to get the order ready. I mean, we were waiting almost an hour and a half just to go in and pick up the order. And then things were missing. It was just such a colossal fuck up that for a good year or two, I didn't even bother to go to Cracker Barrel. And then a few times I have been in Cracker Barrel. Place has been an absolute graveyard. No one's really showing up. Then the food is sort of meh. Yeah, sadly it has gone downhill. Yeah. Well, it didn't used to be that way. 10, 15 years ago, I can remember meeting my grandparents at a Cracker Barrel and doing a Sunday lunch there. And food was good. Ambiance was what you expected. It was overall good. And my grandparents are very difficult people to please. And Cracker Barrel did everything right. Now it's just a joke. I'd rather go to Waffle House.
As a proud American institution, our 70,000 hardworking employees look forward to welcoming you to the table soon. A full-on reversal. Honestly, it's quite shocking, especially when you think about the staggering amount of money that they've spent. They spent $700 million on this rebrand, and now all of that money is wasted. Yeah,
$700 million down the shitter. Probably going to get written off. Bob Evans, Waffle House, anything seems to be a better choice, yeah. Even the greasiest of greasy spoons is better than Cracker Barrel. Hell, the iron skillets that are built into petro truck stops serves better food. That's how far we've come.
On the drain. They tried propping it up with their PR gaslighting campaign, but it's not going to work. We're sick of the woke. People do not want woke anymore. And of course, I know the left will tell you, oh, well, there was nothing woke about the rebrand. Well, we've already tackled that. And if you need any...
It's a product of woke people. It's a product of woke people. People who think they are such good and virtuous types, that they care so much more than you do, that they are going to fundamentally transform a 50, 60-year-old company like Cracker Barrel, and they're going to start attracting we'll call them the Portlandia types, to start eating there. And they don't care if they have to drive away the original P1 demographic, their most dedicated fan base, because by God they want the Portlandia crowd, even though the Portlandia crowd has never had any interest in dining at a Cracker Barrel, and will never go into a Cracker Barrel. Maybe if they're starving, they might consider it. But even then, they'll have an alleged list of so many food allergies. They're like, yeah, no, we can't do that. Let's just go over the whole paycheck and buy something.
More proof. Just look at the marketing executives who are at the helm.
Last year, we have been very transparent about our transformation platform.
This right here, in the background, this is what they had in mind to transform Cracker Barrel into. It is kitsched at best. And like I said, at worst, it looks like something that the Magnolia people and Martha Stewart just came in and threw up all over the place. It looks boring. It looks stale, lifeless, and boring, and would just remove the soul out of the interior.
And one of our strategies is really centered on that physical guest experience. And we've spent the last year testing and concepting various levels of remodels. All of these various levels have been rooted.
Honestly, if they wanted to change something, if they really were just so hell-bent on changing something, instead of the aged interior, sand down the wood, leave it unvarnished. Or hell, even give it a layer of varnish or something. Even that would be preferable to this.
In our brand DNA, they've been rooted in guest feedback, and it's all about evolution with intentionality.
Again, with the buzzwords that don't mean anything. It's like, I don't think she even knows what evolution with intentionality. What the fuck does that even mean? That doesn't mean anything.
We've been very transparent about our goal of making our stores feel brighter and even more welcoming than they already are, while maintaining that
Honestly, it's people like her and the CEO, they just need to be forced to sit there and be shouted at by angry people for an hour straight until they are just reduced to tears. These people are practically choking upon their own hubris, and they really just need to be put in their place.
country hospitality and charm that we're known for. So when it comes to the overall experience, what you can rely on is items like our rocking chairs, our biscuits, our peg games, antiquities on the wall. None of that.
Oh yeah, they even fucked up the peg game. They made that politically correct. Now apparently the peg games, they're not allowed to call you an ignoramus if you're too fucking stupid to figure it out. It's like, oh, don't feel bad, just try again. No, we need to go harder in the other direction. We need to have new peg games that say, you are a fucking imbecile if you can't figure this out. How does it feel to be so fucking stupid, eh? You blithering idiot. You stupid moron. That's what it needs to say on the peg game. Enough of this participation trophy nonsense.
That is going away. We're just looking at ways to freshen up the experience so that we can open our door a bit wider for more guests. And when we think about what we're trying...
Opening the door wider for whom? They're not going to come and eat at your place. They're just not going to do it. The people you're trying to appeal to, the urban monoculture types, they're not interested in eating at Cracker Barrel. They're never going to be interested in eating at Cracker Barrel because they see it as a place where country bumpkins and inbred hicks and hayseeds dine at. They wouldn't be caught dead at a place like that. They see those sorts of people as beneath them. As beneath them in terms of humanity and social class. They will never eat at Cracker Barrel. Yeah, there's no need to freshen up the experience. The whole vibe is older times, yes.
Trying to do, it really is, again, about listening to what the guests ask for, and what the guests, and examples of what the guests ask for are things.
Is none of this. That's what they're asking for, none of this. They're asking for more fundamental things like, can we get some more decent service here? Can you please serve us up biscuits at the table that aren't hard as a brick? Can you please serve us scrambled eggs that don't taste rubbery? Can we please have a side of steak that isn't tough like leather? Can we please have some food that is not shit? It's more fundamental things, and yet you are willing to piss away $700 million to make it look like something that belongs in a magazine that Martha Stewart designed, rather than focusing on the fundamentals of good food and good service. Yeah, what guests? How many?
It's like spaces that feel brighter, that feel less cluttered, more booth seating, more seating options, so our guests are more comfortable while they're dining with us. But again, it really is about taking that feedback and testing into various levels of remodels that...
A lot of their chairs are sturdy, old-timey looking wooden chairs. You can fix this quite easily by just tying a cushion to the seat backs. You really can. Why does she have white hair and look that young? I don't know. I guess that's what happens when you girl boss a bit too close to the sun. It bleaches your hair white and it makes you look old before your time.
Again, represent exactly who we are, but create a more brighter, lighter, fresher experience.
Now, she didn't necessarily say anything explicitly woke, but it's the culture, right?
She also seems to have major case of RBF. This is the sort of person that has default resting bitch face.
Right? Obviously a big city liberal with hardcore vocal fry. You know, the more vocal fry, the more woke. It's almost
Oh
like
yes, that's another thing. She got the vocal fry going on. Hard for anyone to take that seriously. I certainly wouldn't.
Ring theory. Oh my god, Donald Trump is so racist. And so I hope companies are paying attention here. The more vocal fry, the thicker the glasses. If you are hiring people who look like Mark Cuban, you are going to lose nearly $1 billion.
Yeah. Thick rim glasses like that, opinion discarded. Even my glasses that I wear IRL are not that thick. And I wear Wayfarers, but even they are not that thick.
Mark my freaking words. And that's obviously what happened here. A bunch of woke Karens were put in charge of this rebrand. You've already seen 2 characters. Well, here's another. We've got Julia Perry, she, her.
Oh,
VP
Jesus Christ. Again with the fucking glasses. I'm sorry, Miami University, Ohio. Where'd you go to school, love? Did you go to uni in Ohio? Did you go to uni in Miami? And yet somehow you ended up in Nashville. Nashville has, I think, become almost like Austin Light. You've got a lot of people that are not from around there, and they really are turning that entire city into a shithole.
marketing communications at Cracker Barrel. And well, this post right over here basically puts it all into perspective now, doesn't
Yeah, she's humbled and proud.
it? Stop hiring these unqualified, out-of-touch, big city Karens. And most...
Yeah, the only people that need to be running a Cracker Barrel are old men. Old white men. Because honestly, that's your target demographic right there. Those are the sorts of people you would see every Sunday at Cracker Barrel back in the day, before they came in and tried to fuck it up. Yeah, farmers, old men from rural areas. Those are the sorts of people that you need running Cracker Barrel. They eat there. They know the people who come in there. Let them run Cracker Barrel. Not all these fucking Karens who think they're so smart, when really they all just need to be finding themselves husbands, staying at home, cooking in the kitchen and making babies and being mothers and wives. Someone who also still owns a family farm that's been in the family for generations. Those are becoming a rare breed these days, aren't they?
importantly, take a hint, and at this point it really shouldn't be hard to gather, that woke is dead. Wokeism, wokeness is gone. It's out the window. And you know what? I think this should be...
In terms of popularity, yes. People have come to despise wokeism, but I can tell you it is still very much alive and well in the halls of the corporate world. Not just in America, but around the world. I mean, I'm coming from a fairly large corporation myself, where even after the executive order was signed by the president banning DEI, they basically got up at a meeting of employees and executives and said, we don't give a fuck what the president says. We're going to keep doing this anyway. We're just going to rebrand it, or we're just going to, take that stuff off our web pages, but we're still going to do business as usual. We don't give a fuck what the president says. We are still going to do this DEI bullshit. Until you rip this stuff out, root and stem, it's not over. Until it is excised root and stem, you have not won. Until these people are hounded out of their positions and out of polite society, you have not won. Woke is about as dead as racism, effectively on life support from performance activists. It will go dormant. It is going dormant in a way. But they're not done, and they will revive the grift whenever they feel that there is an environment that they can flourish in again. They will bide their time. That is why you have to excise it root and stem. That's why these people and their organizations and the networks have to be destroyed. completely and totally. Anything less, and the problem will just come back again, only worse so.
The conclusion, this is the bigger truth. What happened yet again here was another cultural verdict. The culture war, especially in the corporate world, is over. We won. For so long, the silent majority was ignored.
You have won a battle. You have not won the war. Because a lot of these people are still in charge. Last I checked, all of these woke females, these Kerens that were running Cracker Barrel, they're all still running Cracker Barrel. They're still making decisions. This is one of those rare times where people told them no, and they had to back down. And if there's one thing that women folk hate more than anything, it is being told no. They are petulant little spoiled children that despise being told no. And they will think up some sort of passive-aggressive way of getting back at everyone. I'm sure they are cooking something up already. But the people who were in charge before are still in charge now. You haven't won anything. You've won one battle. You have not won the war. Not until these people are gone. Not until their entire legacy has been torn to shreds and burned. Not until all of this toxic ideology has been extracted root and stem can we say that we've won. We can celebrate the win, but let's keep some perspective. We've won a battle. We have not won the war.
Mocked, dismissed as just a bunch of right-wing bigots in flyover states. But now I think the truth has been revealed. You know, the backlash in these cases is so loud, but not only so loud, but so significant. It has such an effect on their bottom line that it can't be ignored anymore. It can't be dismissed. You know, Bud Light tried it and they got obliterated. Goya Foods faced the left-wing cancel mob in the 2020 election. This massive celebrity-backed boycott against the brand, and what ended up happening? They stood strong in their stances, supported the president, and then their sales exploded. Wake up! We control the culture. We are the culture. The illusion that
You think you control the culture, and for now you have a significant influence upon the culture, but your control is not absolute. Don't deceive yourself into thinking this is a bigger victory than it actually is. We're in the hard times make strong men phase, and the cycle will never stop. Yes, unfortunately, that's true.
that the woke left represents the majority is gone. You know, sure, the activists and the celebrities are screaming on social media, but in the real world, in the grocery aisles, at the restaurants, in the stores, it's our common sense values that really hold the power. And I think the market has spoken. And the message is, woke simply doesn't sell. We are the cultural
Yes, the tide has turned against wokeism. The tide has turned against shit liberty. But make no mistake, we've got a long way to go. That is a long march through the institutions that we have yet to make, and we have to make it in order to pull this thing out root and stem. The tide has turned, the fight is not over. Exactly.
mainstream now. The left-wing mob thought that they could bully us, they could shame us, they could slap labels onto us and force compliance, but the tide has turned. And now every boycott, every backlash, every collapsing stock price is another reminder that they have completely lost their power. They overplayed their hand, they went too
Not
far,
completely.
and now America is...
They have not completely lost their power. We backed them into a corner ever so slightly. They still have room to maneuver. And believe me, they are still dangerous. Do not for one moment let your guard down. Head on a swivel.
is pushing back. And so the lesson is quite clear to investors and shareholders, to marketing executives and company boards. Mock tradition, erase heritage, push cultural Marxism, spit on our values, and watch your brand collapse right in front of you. It's
My only concern is the pendulum swinging too far to the other side because of how much ground they gained. That's always a risk. And unfortunately, there's not much control anybody has over anything like that. There are people on our side of things who will inevitably overplay their hand. There's really nothing you can do to stop that. It's not a question of if it happens, but when. And really all we can do is try to keep our own people in check. Keep our own people in check while still circling the wagons against outsiders and not punching right. That's a more delicate balancing act than people think. Hard to do for a lot of people. challenge impossible for many more.
It's really simple, folks. It's really all about respect. Respect the consumer, respect the people, respect people's values, respect the value, traditions, and the culture of the country, or face utter rejection from the people that you're basically giving the middle finger to. Anyways, what else can I say other than a W in the win column? Another massive cultural victory. More proof that the left and all of their popular ideas are all astroturf.
Not massive. Not a massive victory. Just a victory. Still worth celebrating, but let's not make it bigger than it actually is. You won one battle. There's still a whole war to fight.
Bernie Sanders always going on and on about how the overwhelming majority agree with him and all of his big brain leftist ideas. It's a complete farce. All these botted celebrity accounts trying to push the message. They try to force this stuff into existence. There was never majority cultural support behind anything woke. It was all smoke and mirrors since day one, and now the entire illusion has dissipated. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Give it a like, everyone. It's a good video there from Liberal Hive Mind.